Hello everyone. Welcome back to Dr. Liu's VCE Biological channel. Today, let's learn together about the 2021 VCE Biology. We will focus on questions about human change over time and scientific investigation. My explanations may need to be revised. If any teachers, parents, or students find errors, please feel free to provide your guidance. Denisovan fossils had been found in only two locations, Siberia and Tibet. However, Denisovan DNA has been discovered in some present-day populations. These populations are found on several continents, including Australia. These discoveries suggest that the ancient Denisovan hominin group was, or its descendants were, more widespread than fossil evidence suggests. Xenopus frogs were used to test human pregnancy. Urine samples from women were injected into the legs of female frogs. The frogs were then placed back into the water tanks, and the following day, the tanks were checked for eggs. If a female frog had laid eggs, the woman who had provided the urine sample was diagnosed to be pregnant. However, sometimes, this method gives a false diagnosis of pregnancy if female frogs are laying eggs naturally around the time of the injection. To assess the effectiveness and safety of a drug called doxycycline, scientists placed the adults into two groups. One group received doxycycline in addition to standard care, and another group received standard care only. The group receiving standard care only was the control group. The effect of two plant hormones, BA and TBA, on seedlings of trees is investigated. There are three groups here, BA, TBA, or BA plus TBA. These trees were kept in the same greenhouse, under identical temperature and light conditions for 12 weeks. The stem length and lateral shoots were measured. The independent variable is the plant hormone or plant hormone combination added to the detergent solution and applied to the seedlings. Therefore, treatment for the control group would be the buffered detergent solution, with no plant hormone added. This would enable the scientists to see if the plant hormones were responsible for the effects seen rather than the detergent itself. The key is comparing with control groups. BA in low concentrations showed a shorter stem length, and therefore less elongation, than the control group. Therefore, BA in low concentrations does not promote stem elongation. BA in higher concentrations decreases the height to about 1/4, but does not change the number of lateral shoots. In the BA plus TBA group, the number of lateral shoots is not observed to be different from the control. So, TBA could not reduce the effect of BA on the number of lateral shoots. TBA in high concentrations can be seen on the graph to have lower stem length than the control, but a much higher number of lateral shoots. Cave drawings depicting animals have been found on stalagmites in the Ardales Cave in southwest Europe. A stalagmite is a rock formation that grows upwards from a cave floor, as shown in the image below. Over a long period of time, water, containing minerals, dripped from the cave roof, solidified and formed a transparent layer on top of the drawings on the stalagmites. Ancient cave drawings contribute evidence of cognitive changes that are unique to modern humans, Homo sapiens. Biologists argue that these unique cognitive changes in H. sapiens allowed cultural evolution that would have been impossible in other hominin species. Describe how ancient cave drawings contribute evidence of cultural evolution in H. sapiens. Any two of the following were acceptable. Cave drawings show the passing of information through generations. Cave drawings become more complex over time. Cave drawings show evidence of change in cultural practices. and evidence of complex thought or evidence of symbolic representations. A team of scientists dated the mineral deposits in the solid, transparent layer using uranium-thorium dating. They found that some of the mineral deposits are 65,000 years old. What conclusion can be made about the age of the ancient drawings on the stalagmites? The drawings must be older than 65,000 years, as the mineral layer is on top of the ancient drawings. The key information is the age of the solid layer. So, the answer should be focused on the age of the solid layer. The table below shows the arrival dates of some hominin species to the European continent, as well as their extinction dates. The dates are the best estimates based on fossil evidence from multiple sites and genetic data. How does the discovery of the drawings in the Ardales cave challenge the view that the art of cave drawing first arose in H. sapiens? If the time of the first aroused in Europe, this hominin could not draw this picture. H. sapiens first appeared in Europe 45,000 years ago, and the drawings are older than 65,000 years. Therefore H. sapiens could not have been the first to make cave drawings. H. neanderthalensis, not H. sapiens, drew the art because H. neanderthalensis appeared earlier than 65,000 years. H. sapiens could have drawn the art, but fossils of that age have not been found yet, or the dating methods used were unreliable. H. sapiens first appeared in Europe 45,000 years ago, and the drawings are older than 65,000 years. Two students designed an experiment to investigate antibiotic resistance in Escherichia coli bacteria. They began with an E. coli culture. On day 0, spread E. coli culture onto a nutrient agar without and with ampicillin. On day 1, transfer a sample of bacteria from day 0 plates to day 1 plates containing ampicillin. On day 2 and day 3, repeat day 1, but the concentration of ampicillin is increased. All plates were incubated at 37 degrees Celsius for each 24 hours. Used plates were refrigerated until the end of the experiment. They were then photographed to compare the amount of bacterial growth and disposed of safely. The day 0 non-ampicillin was set as a control group. The diagram shows that the E. coil from day 0 ampicillin has more bacterial growth than that from non-ampicillin. In scientific experiments, controlled variables are factors kept constant to ensure that any observed changes in the dependent variable are solely due to the manipulation of the independent variable. In this experiment, the controlled variables should be the volume of E. coli first applied to plates, type of nutrient agar used, size of plates used, batch or source of ampicillin, incubation duration, incubation temperature, and exposure time to each concentration of ampicillin. In research, a hypothesis is a tentative, testable statement about the relationship between two or more variables, offering a potential explanation or prediction that can be investigated through research. The hypothesis should include the dependent and independent variables. Here, we compare the E. coil growth between ampicillin and non-ampicillin. So, the hypothesis should be focused on the with and without ampicillin. With or without ampicillin should be the independent variable and growth-dependent variable. The refrigerated plates kept from days 0, 1, 2, and 3 of the experiment were photographed. The diagrams in Figure 2 represent the bacterial growth seen in the photographs. After reviewing the diagram, we find that the number of growth in the experiment group is more than that control group on the same day. This result suggests that the initial exposure of E. coli to ampicillin resulted in a greater number of resistant E. coli. After comparing figures 1 and 2, the pattern of both figures is similar. So, figure 2 supports the predicted results in figure 1. The reason might be more E. coli developed ampicillin resistance in the experimental group. Also, figure 2 could not support figure 1 because there were some E. coils still present on both plates on day 3. In human change over time and scientific investigation, 5 short answer questions are worth 5 marks, and 2 multiple choice questions are worth 15. The overall score for this section is 20 marks. With a total possible score of 120 marks, the percentage for this section is 16.7% of the total score. There are 10 topics in VCE Biology. 4 topics belong to Unit 3, and 6 topics are in Unit 4. Unit 3 is 48.3%, and Unit 4 is 51.8%. If you need my help, please add me on WeChat or WhatsApp, and send me an email. Thanks for your attention. Please note Dr. Liu's VCE Physics channel, Dr. Liu's VCE Chemistry channel, and Dr. Liu's VCE Biology channel.